Lucky you.
Good evening, everybody.
Evening blessings and salutation. Ranchi Dan.
You done know your boy in the place. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Give me 1 second. It's while I'm waiting, we have one more person that's supposed to join us.
So I don't
why are you doing that, Louis? You ready to say something?
A lot.
Oh God.
I mean, we got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a lot to talk about, right?
Okay. Was there a post this week, either in our group or on personal pages, that like intrigued anybody? I'm gonna start off quickly and say that I love my post. It said, when people fall in love with someone's flowers but not their roots, they don't know what to do when autumn comes. Your relationships need to be built on deep alignment on values, character, and morals, which are the roots, not just love, appearance, hobbies, and status, the flowers. I liked it.
Poetic. Beautiful.
It's true. We could be basing it on the wrong thing, and then we wonder why things that go awry. Yeah. But in youth, I mean, it's usually on appearance or superficial things. Not all the time, but some of the times.
Weak to temptation.
True.
Yeah.
How about you guys? Was there anything this week that you all saw that?
I like my post.
Randy.
Randy driving?
Hello.
Randy might want to pull over. Or car when he reach.
We live, right? So I can't state my business because we live. But good evening, everybody. I'm here.
Good evening. I was asking everybody if there was a post this week that intrigued them, touched them, that they wanted to share, especially with our YouTube audience. Wait. Gina, you don't have one?
I don't have.
Brandy, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't have one. No, I do not. I ain't gonna lie. I haven't been looking either because, on the road driving, I didn't have a chance. But I'm sorry. No, I don't.
Irene. How about you, Trina or Louis? Or
I can't remember.
I don't, it's not necessarily a post, but it's something that I had a conversation with somebody very recent. And it was, we were talking about, of course, the ability to, having the ability to sleep with who we want. And we talked about what was mentioned was women can choose who they want to sleep with. Men can't.
What do you mean?
So because women have, we often talk about women having the power. Women have the control. Men can't take that from you. That becomes violent at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But women have the power to actually determine who they want to sleep with, whereas men pick. Right?
Don't pick, except
sorry, women, right? So yeah, I said that wrong. But you know what I'm talking about. So, and I'm sure that that before. So I was just talking. I had a conversation with somebody with regards to that. They actually they were saying that no, that's not true, because if that's the case, then they could really choose who they want. And of course, it got into a whole celebrity thing. And I'm like, well, let's be realistic.
I know there's something deeper to what you're saying. I just haven't heard it yet because I don't think it was explained, because I hear what you're saying. And I know that like later on in life, I'm going to say, oh, that's what Janos was saying and everybody else was saying. But you got to figure out a way to explain that, because it makes the men sound like either just take what I go get. Like I is
not necessarily. I mean, because you put effort into, you see somebody, you put effort into them. And of course, it's at that time when the right time is correct, and that the women decide to engage. But you are always ready. Men are always ready to engage, and of course we're going to talk about all of that tonight.
Randy, you wanted to, not Randy, Ranch, you wanted to take a hit at the explanation?
Yeah, women.
Randy, I can mute your mouth.
It's a funny way to explain it. It's a funny thing because, like, not that men don't choose who they want. 'Cause ain't everything that come to you, you're gonna accept.
That's true too.
If you see something that you like, and you and the person engaging, maybe let's say you and the person start to talk, there's no way you're gonna get anywhere further with that person unless a woman says yes. I think
exactly.
In that sense of it. Not that.
So are you saying as a woman, you could, a man ain't gonna tell we now?
I'm not saying no.
And that point was also brought up, Pinky.
Well, no, men say no. That's what I'm saying. Men do say no. Men do say no if they're unattracted to you, if it's not there, the vibe ain't there. But if the man and the woman, let's say, start talking and it goes on for a period of time, it only goes to the next step if the woman says yes. If you understand what I mean.
So I think it goes something like women pick who they want to sleep with, men sleep with who they can.
Who they can, yeah.
I think that's how it goes. So we were taking a stab at it, and it was interesting. And there were a lot of different perspectives.
I will agree with Louis in a sense that, yeah, the woman have power to the extent of how the conversations and relations would go based on her comfort level. So if she likes you, you get a green light with more conversation, more whatever. If you get, if you don't, then you get a red light. But as a man, if you pass over onto the yellow light, that's a violation.
Right.
So yeah, in a sense, women do control that aspect of it. But on the flip side, there are some men that, yeah, they do the same thing. No is no.
I think his internet went out.
Yeah, he probably going to trouble here. That spot.
Yeah, so it's something different.
Interesting. How about you, Trina?
About
a post or something you saw this week?
Oh, she said she had none.
Oh, you don't have none? I want to ask Halima to share it, but Halima put up a post this evening, or I saw it this evening. It was I don't know if it was a TikTok or YouTube or whatever, but it was these 5 guys or 4 guys sitting down talking and basically talking about who people have kids with. And when you see that a person has some issues, why allow yourself to get yourself in a position to get that person pregnant? But it was the way that they explained it. So I'm going to ask her to share it in the group for people to look at it, because it was really interesting the way that it was a guy that was talking to his other friends, broke it down. But it was really good. So
what about my post? Get a lot of backlash
for my post, Randy. Sorry.
But Randy, you say you didn't have no post. Randy, you say you didn't have none.
You say you didn't have none.
Yeah, I didn't have one I liked, but I posted one yesterday or this morning, I think. Men is not intimidated by women, but we just don't like the masculine energy that they put off.
Oh, the independent women. Yeah, it had a lot of people responded to that too.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily agree with that one, Randy.
Well, you have to understand the concept and from which it came. So a lot of times they'll say, "Oh, independent woman, this independent woman, that," and that's why a weak man don't want no strong woman, and so on and so forth. But I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that at all. I think that when women are exercising their inner strength and they're the alpha female, and they have to fight for everything at work to be equal to their male counterparts, and so on and so forth. And they bring that home or to the relationship or to a guy, and it seems just so manly that there's no femininity to the woman at all. But you could be independent and strong and all of those things and still have a feminine flavor to you. And that's the cant. That was like pretty much what it was. So men is not afraid of independent women. We just don't like the masculinity of the energy that they bring. That's the difference to me. That's how I was putting it out there.
Yeah, I figure. But we all carry both masculine and feminine energy in us. We all do. So, and the problem with, and it's not a problem. I see your point, and it's not that I don't disagree. It was just that I guess I see it from another perspective because there is men who is attracted to masculine women.
Okay.
Yes, and you could see it. You could look at it. There is, yeah. There's men and women are attracted to the men that have that more feminine energy because in a relationship you have to have that balance. So yeah, and that goes a little deeper, and I don't want to say too much about that, but
yeah.
Louis like, yeah.
I ain't got time for that. No, yeah, keep it moving. I don't know why I don't know about feminine this and I mean I understand the whole balance and all of that stuff, Pinky, but let me stick to what I know. Let me keep it real, okay? That's a little too extra. Come on now. I like my women soft.
Right. The post
like
is
my
good.
women soft.
But this is one thing I want men to consider in that post. Yes, there are men who are attracted to the soft female energy, but today we have a lot of women that have to be in the masculine energy because she has to be provider, she has to be protector, and she has to text. She's at work. She has that position where she's the boss lady. There is, and I tell you, I don't want to get too deep in it. There is certain energies male carry, there's certain energies female carry, right? I don't want to get too deep in it. And so when she operating from that masculine energy all day, and she's single or whatever her situation, or she in a situation with a husband who is not pulling up his weight, like somebody has said, Randy, in the book.
I think you just said it's by circumstance.
Exactly.
I think it's by circumstance. I don't think it's because that's how they're designed. I think it's just a matter of them by circumstance of that's the role that they took on.
Exactly.
But I don't think
that's the role that they were forced in. It's not necessarily the role they took on, but sometimes there's a role they're forced in. So let me tell you, a woman who is a cop, that's her job, or a woman who is a security, not a security guard, working in. I just saying, this could go very deep. Let me pass on. But I just saying there are times when women have to be in a masculine energy, not to offend anybody at all. I'm just saying there's times when Pinky have to be in her masculine energy, and there is times when I'm in my masculine energy so much that I have to stop myself and say, Pinky, when you're a businesswoman and you pushing your business and you do it, you can't be soft. But anyway, let me just move on. That's a little too deep for me right now.
That could be a topic.
That needs to be a topic, Randy. Thank you.
No problem. My pleasure.
Okay.
So now to the cheating. There we go.
Yeah. So, it's unfortunate that so many people have experienced it, whether on the cheating side or being cheated. Today I had posted a question and asked how has cheating damaged you? Because I've seen so many people and been in conversation with so many people that the cheating, what they consider cheating for their relationship, has damaged them so much that they're stuck. They haven't been able to open themselves up to another relationship. And it's sad. It's unfortunate because it's something that a lot of people have to go through. But so to start it off, my question to you is, what do you consider cheating? because I think that's one thing, because everybody looks at cheating. I mean, some things is kind of like the obvious, but what do
you consider cheating? Let me start with you.
You know, me and Pinky had this conversation because
that's Pinky masculine energy.
Because I think that if you are in a marriage, which you might consider cheating, versus if you're just dating or in a, why do you put your head like that, Ranchi? I think it would be different. Of course, it's the obvious. If the person that I'm with has had sexual intercourse with somebody else, I consider that cheating.
So for you, it's just sexual intercourse?
Yeah, and I
also prior to that conversation and cheating,
leading up to that.
Yeah,
I don't necessarily think the conversation is the cheating, but again, it's how it's being done. So it's to me, it's hard because cheating is going to be different for everybody based on your relationship with the person that you're in, the person you're in the relationship with, and where you are in your life. And again, whether this is a new thing or this is something you've been in for years and years and years. So I don't know. I think it's hard to like really put a definition, because I personally think it's very different. Okay, somebody just said if you're married and you entertain another person, you are cheating.
That's Patricia. Hey, sweetie.
Okay. Good night, Patricia.
The truth of cheating, from my position, is that anything that you have to hide is cheating.
Okay. That's good. How about you, Ranchi?
I agree, Randy.
What?
I agree.
Oh, I agree, Randy. So anything that you're doing that you have to hide.
Yeah. A telephone call, a text message, an email, an action, anything that
Wait, let me ask you a question. Is it that you're hiding it, or you just haven't divulged it? It's never come up in conversation.
You're hiding it because you don't want them to.
But you don't want nobody to know about it. So whatever it is.
But you're hiding it.
You're hiding it. It is not something you're coming home to tell me about your day after work. You know, hey, we was hanging out, and no, you don't come home to tell your baby about that day at work. You know, so
I agree. I agree. I don't necessarily would say. I mean, we live in this time where everybody connected, so people talking. You know, you got friends. You know, men have friends as female. You know, for me, it's the intimacy. It's when you share intimacy on any level, whether it's in conversation, whether it's your body, whether it's your mind, whatever you share intimacy with another person, and like you guys say, you ain't willing to let your spouse know or your partner know or anybody know that you having these intimate conversation with another, secrets, all of that, you know, why you can't tell me you're friends if you're just friends? It's like my post. If you ain't doing that, why I can't touch your phone?
Right.
You know?
Because at the same time, privacy. The phone, privacy is privacy. Louis might tell me something that he divulged to me personally that he wants to share with nobody else, and now you got in my phone to go read a man conversation.
That's true, but we talking about.
No, but you don't know what's cheating until you read it or you see it, and then you know what's cheating. But your phone, that's your way. I always defend the phone.
The phone is a violation of privacy, and we could stay and go back and forth with that, but that's what it is at the end of the day.
That's what we're talking about. But that is major. We have to consider that, Janos, because we live in a time where we're doing texting. We live in a time when we have social media. We live in a time where the connection with another human being is just not physical face to face.
What is your obsession? What is the obsession with going into someone's phone? What is the what?
There is no obsession about going into somebody.
Why do I do it? Why engage? What's the purpose? What are you going to get out of that?
Okay, what I'm saying is this, right? When you can't have your phone accessible to your mate, your phone is on lockdown constantly. Why is that? You are hiding something.
No,
we
stop. Phones are designed that way. Phones are designed that way.
Password on it.
The phones are designed that way, especially if you use your phone for work.
Anybody can pick up
your phone for work. Your phone is designed to lock your emails. Your phone is designed that way. So
this is your spouse and your mate and your partner that you don't share bed with, that you don't share your bank accounts with, your bank accounts with.
Not everyone does that, Pinky.
Your health issues with. What?
Not everyone does that.
That's why I said Pinky being messy on the top, because I know everybody. Like,
not everyone does that.
Okay.
I want to talk about my perspective on cheating, though. Just first of all, let's define what everybody like you said, everybody has a different way of what cheating is. My take on it is not from a marriage or being in a relationship, but when it comes to cheating, essentially is if you have some form of exclusivity and you go outside of that. Whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, whether it's marriage or anything that, like, well, Randy mentioned anything that you want to hide. I think anything that's outside of that exclusivity, that commitment, then yes, it can be interpreted as some form of cheating. But the question becomes now, and this going back to, if you're dating and there's no exclusivity, but you're having conversations, you're dating and you sleeping with somebody else, you happen to be dating with somebody else, and that happens, you sleep with the other person, is that considered cheating?
No.
Say that again, Janos.
If you're dating, now this is in a dating environment, and you happen to be intimate with you have multiple partners. This happens. We know this happens. This is the world that we live in. Is that considered cheating?
No.
Because you're free to date. Dating does not lock you into any relationship.
Now, remember, I asked this question because
dating, situationships, all of them there.
Women get clingy, attached, and rightfully so. You may have done a hell of a service to them. You may have put it down and the way that they haven't had it in quite some time. And I'm just saying, we just point
maybe
that
she
out
was
there.
just lonely and the companionship was good. Okay, let me move on.
That's Pinky's reality. That's Pinky's reality. Anyway, so again, having that conversation up front and laying down that foundation is very significant. Because when you get emotions involved, then you're having it's a whole different arena. You open up a whole different book. So is that considered cheating? Because that person might feel like they're being cheated on because somebody else is getting all of that goodness.
But technically, what was the conversation? What did we agree upon? If we are just dating is just dating.
There you go.
There you go. Us having only in the dating stage, if we're having sex during the dating stage, then it's just sex. It's nothing committed behind the sex.
And that's for both parties?
That's for both parties. You have to if you want a conversation about what you're doing, how you're going to know what you're doing.
It has to be for both.
It has to be for both.
Right. So dating, I think it's not.
And then the flip side to that, are men prepared to accept that?
Of course. You didn't have a choice.
We said that easily.
Yeah, you have a choice.
If you dated somebody and you really into this person,
see, that's where it goes.
And you, even though you all have established that you're just dating, but you really feeling for this woman, and she is dating other people or happens to date another person.
So that's where that conversation needs to be revisited, because
stop hiding your feelings. If you feeling a certain type of way, open your mouth and say that you're feeling
something. That's why the conversation got to be revisited.
Keep your mouth shut. Don't come and cry when you get hot because you choose to shut your mouth, because that wasn't our agreement. Our agreement was just to hook up. Our agreement was just dating, to go and grab a bite.
Dating and situationships, I don't know. I think them is just topics that
No,
isn't.
situationships is a contract. That's
Yeah,
a
that's
part.
two different things, Pinky.
Situationship is a whole different something. A part to dating.
Pinky,
Dating.
you agree?
Okay, that's why I'm saying, like, I bought them together, dating situationships. I don't know.
So
It's a contract. What type of contract that was made? The contract is that we'll be seeing other people. We're not seeing other people. That's different. I
Well,
guess
let me help you with
Randy.
that. Let me help you with that. So a situationship is when you agree with somebody that all you gonna do is bull. That's it.
There we go.
And
I know
that's
we're coming out sometime tonight. I know
that's
it come out earlier than anticipated though.
Randy, your mouth, right? Randy, your mouth, right?
It come out earlier than I anticipated, but thanks for that. I know that will cover it.
Pinky.
Hey,
All
yes,
you
man.
doing is you agreeing to bull. That's it. Nothing more.
but
No.
even in a relationship, Randy, even in a relationship, we're talking about cheating, you know. So what I'm saying here is that we're talking about. Okay, I hear what you're saying. Okay, yeah.
No, you're just passing it down. The real truth of the matter is, if you don't set up some kind of exclusivity with an individual, it's free game for everybody and anybody. Now, if you
Exactly.
catch feelings, that's you and your problem. That don't have nothing to do with the next person because there is no contract or anything, to be found with that person. Now, like oh God, your name slipped me. He said that if you have feelings, you need to open your mouth and just say, "Hey, I really like you and I want to do something." But if you don't say nothing, it's fair game. It's fair
Exactly.
game.
And the reason why also you have to say something because that could be the beginning of where the relationship really starts. That could be the beginning of what your progression of the relationship is. It has to
But
start
that's how
somewhere.
it starts.
Exactly.
That
That's
is how
it.
it starts. I going to feel a way. Do you feel the same way I feeling? Hey, let's be exclusive. Let's lock it down together. I want to be your boyfriend. You want to be my girlfriend.
But
You know, we're sitting to get
but
married,
we
but I
have
mean to say,
we have to
hey,
be able to handle
after
rejection.
that conversation, you know,
We have to be able to handle rejection.
True.
I mean, the same time you walk in the door, you're expecting rejection, eh?
That and
Well,
see, Manchi, that's my thing. I think that's something that I really want people. I have been told that let me just say, in my marriage, I was told like I just have this don't care attitude, right? But I think it was sort of like a self-defense mechanism. But I also feel like people are people. People are going to do some horrible things. And I think for you to go into any kind of situation and think you're going to get that fantasy, relationship, it's wonderful when it does happen. But I think when you go in, not that you're looking for something bad to happen, but I think that you have to tell yourself nothing is guaranteed. People
Nothing
are
is
people and
impossible.
they're flawed and they come with their baggage. They come with their misunderstanding. They come with their immaturity and they do stuff. And again, with the cheating, I had to learn because it literally happened through my whole marriage. The cheating you have to learn is not about you. It's about whatever they're not dealing with and they're getting soothed from whatever they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But again, like I go back to the same.
so were you saying? And I don't want to I'm gonna be messy because that's just how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I then a messy mood today.
Mm-hmm.
Let me just ask. Is it ever a time because you said that I can't remember what you said, but is there a time where we do push our mates into the arms of somebody else? Is there ever a time where we could take that responsibility and say our behavior and how we showed up in the relationship push our mate into the arms of somebody else?
Will you take the responsibility? Yeah. Will you take the responsibility?
But that's what I'm saying.
If somebody coming to you and tell you that, well, are you ready to accept that responsibility?
Well, not that somebody, even if somebody tell us, because we said we have to always create a safe space. And I can't remember who put up a post this week. It was it was a TikTok, and it was a man talking to his wife, and he was saying that he coming with his feelings. I think it was CC who I put it up. And he will come in with his feelings, and he was telling her the things that he needed. He needed more sex. He needed more whatever. You know, so your husband or your mate, whoever, because men and women cheat, right? You want the percentage, Luis, 20% male, 10% female. But at the end of the day, we don't know, because ain't everybody to admit that they had an affair, right? So, okay, your mate come to you and say, hey, you're not giving me enough sex. You're not showing me affection. You're not loving me. You're not acting or dressing in a desirable way. How do you respond to this individual? For me, I'm gonna tell you right now, I was guilty as sin, and my response was, that's your issue, that ain't my issue. I'm gonna be honest. And that's why I said, do we get honest sometime and say, we pushed our mates into the arms of somebody else? Because we always hate the fact that our mate did cheat on us at some point or another. I mean, saying that was always the case now, because I've been cheated on multiple times. I mean, saying that's always the case. But I got questions on the situation and says, well, Pinky wasn't showing up in the capacity of a mate or whatever, and providing, because when they tell you how they felt about it, your thing was, well, that's your issue, that ain't mine. Men shouldn't want sex that often.
Why is it often said that women want what other women have? Why is that often said?
I hear it from you. I never hear it before that.
You never heard that before?
Never heard that before, Pinky?
Why? Okay, Pinky, why is it when a man gets married, that's when most women start to talk to that guy?
Because I'm gonna use me and Debbie were talking about pastors one time about relationships, right? Women that look at pastors with these eyes because they think they tell you, oh, a man's supposed to be this, a man's supposed. So I would assume from the outside looking in, based on what you're saying, that a woman will look at a situation and say, oh, he's a good man, he's a good this, and then he becomes attractive to them, and that's how they ended up being having affairs or relationship with them, because they look attractive from the outside looking in. That don't mean he's the same person, because a man could, well, not a man, anybody could sell you something. That don't mean that's who they truly are. So if you from the outside looking in, you're like, oh, he look attractive because he did it for his wife, he paying the bills, he don't listen to your wife. We don't know if that's the case. And then he look attractive to the person. That's why I'm gonna assume that's where they're coming from. But that's just my assumption. I could be dead red wrong.
Okay, I want to innovate on top of what you were saying earlier, Pinky. So, in my past relationship, that was exactly the case. I was trying to be as verbal as I possibly could, but being very compromising and understanding, so that I don't make it sound like I greedy or needy or any of those things. And the reply was similar to what you said. And to be exact words, the quote is like, well, I'm just not that type of girl. And I was like, what? Okay. So for the first time in my life, I telling a chick rather than saying, well, I going to do what I going to do, and I going to do it out there, and then I'll just stay home, yeah, and whatever happen, right? So you want to give them the opportunity to change or to add on or to make good or whatever adjectives you want to describe the situation. And at the end of the day, it came to a realization that, well, you're not going to get that from this person. So now you have to look back and you're going to see all the red flags that you collected and didn't act upon. And now you're ready to act upon it. And when you act upon it, 99% of the time, it's a cheating going on or somebody busting out, because they're not getting what they feel that they should be getting based on the value of that individual and yourself. So there you go. You don't have a problem with that. And women,
and that's a two-way street too, Randy. Because I think if you, for me, I can't talk for you, I could talk for me. There was things that I was also requesting in the relationship that was being ignored, that was being ridiculed, that was being not considered. So this created a wedge, or I would call it a big, a big trench.
Right.
Okay.
So when we're talking about it, is it forgivable? Right? How could we forgive another person?
That's where you have to be honest with yourself. That's actually the defining moment for me. Everybody cheats. Then I said
Everybody
that from the
don't
beginning.
cheat, Ranchi. Ranchi, you keep saying everybody do that cheat.
I don't swallow that.
Everybody's definition of cheating is different.
Everybody don't cheat, Ranchi.
Everybody cheats. Pinky, stop.
Everybody do not cheat.
I agree. Not everybody.
Everybody do not cheat.
And were you able to move on from? Pinky, okay, you don't cheat. No problem. Put on your finger. Okay, you don't cheat. Okay, you don't cheat. But everybody cheats. And it's that moment where you could decide what you could live with. Because if you cheat on me and I say, okay, you know what, babe, we can move past this, I shouldn't bring that shit back up. Oh, sorry for my language. We have to be moving forward. I can't keep bringing back that old thing that happened. Else we should have just break up. Right. If you can't move on from what took place, if you can't move on from what took place, terminate a relationship.
Well, but let me ask you something. In part of what you're saying, true, is about if you can move on, but the problem sometimes though is that the cheating is not the issue. There was a deeper issue that resulted in the cheating. So if you choose to stay, then you have to address the root cause of it. I'm not saying some cheating is just solely that. But sometimes there's a root cause. Someone was feeling neglected.
That's what exactly I was getting to that next, but right. Go ahead, Debbie. Definitely.
So, right, you don't bring Nikki up and Nikki don't plug on when you're she tell him, man, he tell you everybody don't cheat.
So if you choose to forgive, that's a lot of work. It's a lot of work because, like you said, people, when they get mad, they bring up stuff, which is not going to help the situation anymore. And two, people have to seriously address what the issue is if they choose to build back that relationship. And then you got to put in that work that you weren't putting in before.
Somebody said, I think it was a post that was up that said, I can't remember who posted. I wasn't paying too much. That it's not the cheating, it's the breaking of the pattern or something about a pattern. I can't remember, but that's what you're saying, Debbie. Like, why if we talk about forgiveness got to mean change. You can't be behaving the same way and expect forgiveness.
Well, the first time is an accident, the second time is a pattern. That's what you're trying to say.
No, because I can't see it as no accident, Ranchi.
The first one is an accident. The second one is pattern, because you're continuously doing the same thing. So regardless of how, not remorseful, but no matter how forgiving your partner is, you are disrespectful enough to continue to do the act, regardless of the outcome, knowing that you get catch one and you don't care, so you don't have respect for that person, so you do it again. That's your pattern. So you think, well, she don't forgive me again and again and again and again, and then one day it's gonna be like, well, man, if you boss your boss, that's what it is. But that person's so hot now because this is the fifth time that you do it and you get catch. And they come to realize, well, you really just don't have no respect for me or care about me.
But wait, let me put a twist to that. The twist to that is that it can say what you just said, or it can say, because I allowed you to do it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, there's no need to change the behavior. And that's what I had to learn. That because I was trying to put in the work of the things that you were saying was an issue, and there still wasn't no change, but I was still staying. I was still being a wife. I was still taking care of the home. I was still going out and working. I was still helping with your businesses, and I was still getting disrespected. So there comes a point in time where we have to take ownership of what we're allowing in our lives as well. So it's sort of like, okay, this person chipped a little piece of my heart, but then they chipped more and more and more, but we stayed. We stayed. So if we didn't address the issue, we didn't try to do it together, working together for one goal, and we see, yes, that person is wrong, because you would think that if this person says they love you, that they wouldn't treat you that way. But again, if you're allowing somebody to keep doing something over and over and over again, why are they gonna stop? Because in their mind, you're gonna just stay there until they don't want to cheat no more.
Well,
Mayor Angelo says if you keep letting somebody peck at you, they'll peck at you till there's nothing left. So that's what you're saying, Debbie.
Nikki, I'm not saying to take ownership in their infidelity. Wait 1 second, Ranchi, because Nikki said, really, why take ownership? I'm not saying you're taking ownership, but if you love self, right, and you keep putting your hand in fire, there comes a point in time where you're responsible for self. You can't change that person, but you can change you being in that situation. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I'm sure there's many people who are at the point where they have like given up on relationship, given up on finding love, because they stayed in a situation, and it might not have even just been the cheating. It might have been an incremental kind of thing. And then the cheating happened, and then you forgave, and then it happened again. But now you're mad at the world, or you're not giving yourself the opportunity to meet other people and give somebody else who has a different history, a different life, an opportunity for you to be healed and happy. And you, at the same token, you're allowing this person to not hurt you anymore cheating, but they're hurting you because they've stagnated your growth. But it's not them, it's you that allowed it to happen. And that's what I had to learn. Like a lot of the stuff that I allowed, thinking that there was going to be change in behavior, but I was seeing there wasn't change in behavior. Yeah, maybe it wasn't happening every month. Maybe it wasn't even happening every year, but it was still happening. And I stayed for many reasons. For many reasons, don't get me wrong. I stayed for many reasons. And of course, hindsight is 2020. But there came a point in time where I had to say, bump this. And it took 20-something years.
That's a long time. That's a long time.
Exactly.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is this.
It didn't take me that long, that's for sure. I was out.
You just
CC, people have their flaws. That's all I'm going to say. Because I know I was a good wife. So that's all I'm going to say. I wasn't perfect, but I was a good wife. And
but this is the thing. And I don't agree. I know Debbie, she was a good wife. So I thought I was a good wife too. That does not dismiss the fact that, and I'm not dismissing the fact of nobody's behavior. That is not what I'm saying. Please, nobody don't misunderstand me. In my eyes, I was a good wife, right? I cook, I clean. I used to cook 7 days a week, okay? My house was spotless from top to bottom. You could eat half my floor. This is the point though. Is that what your mate needs? And that's the question we gotta ask ourselves. And are we able to give the mate what it is they're asking for? Because we feel because we in a marriage or we in a relationship, because this is our ownership thing. We taking ownership for this person. Use my husband, use my whatever. You can't go nowhere. You can. People have needs. People have desires that's not being met. And I think we have to really address these situations. How can we forgive and how can we heal if we don't address this is the root cause. We think that the root cause sometimes is just, oh, he gotta be faithful to me. There are some people who are not meant to be monogamous. We have to accept this fact. Yeah, I know people don't want to hear that. Some people are not meant to be monogamous. It's not our job to force them into monogamy. Okay? At the end of the day, you have to have this discussion. Are you a monogamous person? Can you be with one person? You ain't been with one person for 20 years. You're going to be with one person now? We want to change people. We want people to be who we want because, oh, I love Ranchi and I want Ranchi for myself. So I want Ranchi to be monogamous to just Pinky. Because you know I ain't going to say, yeah, no, so Ranchi. Okay? And we want to force Ranchi into this square, into this box. Does he fit in the box? And when he don't fit in the box and he busts loose the box, because it's not just Ranchi, it's women also. And this is the thing. We look at cheating from, oh man, the cheat, and he break my heart and he hurt me. That was my heart been broke so bad. And I said broke, Randy. Me said broken. I didn't say proper, I said broke. So bad that I thought that I would never see the next day. Okay? But yeah, heart been totally broken. And like Debbie to talk all that good stuff, I was like, bump men, bump relationships. I am fine, but my God dang self. I know let me start cussing bad word on this podcast because that's how broken Pinky was. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, as a grown woman now, I'm willing to say, dude, if you're not into monogamy, then me and you ain't meant to be together. I don't care how good you look. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care what you bring to the table. You could shoot me to the sky and back in one experience that only lasts 2 minutes, or it could last a whole hour. I really don't give a damn at the end of the day because because that moment or that hour, you got, like Nikita said, well, what gonna happen to the other 23 hours of the day? What gonna happen to the other 23 minutes and all the other minutes and seconds of the day? I have to be able to live with this person, have communication, be with this person. If that's all we have, then we have nothing at the end of the day. Now, if that's what you want, if you want to shoot to the sky and that's good enough for you, hey, Pinky don't judge people.
You know how long it takes for you to come back out of space, Pinky, when you get shoot up there? Not 2 minutes will turn into months, you know.
All I'm saying is some people are not meant to be monogamous. And we force them into these situations, and then when things happen, we want to blame everybody. Is it a forgivable act? Do we actually watch ourselves, and do we watch the person that we were dealing with and figure out, hey, and that don't mean some people ain't just damn vicious, and it just don't mean that some people ain't just damn greedy. You know, and it don't mean that people don't just lie. Okay, I'm not saying all them things. Please do not misunderstand what I'm saying.
But they do happen.
It does happen on both sides, women and men. Keisha put up a post that said, why do women cheat? Women and men that cheat for the same reasons, you know. Men don't want to be loved. They don't want to be desired. They don't want to have somebody to speak to. They don't want to be hard. They want the same things women don't want, but they just have a, you know, more desire. I think
one of the things I was thinking when I was thinking about this topic, one of the things that I was thinking about was what exactly about the cheating is what hurts us? Like, do people think about, is it the disrespect? Is it now the mistrust, the untrustworthiness of the person? Is it the shame that they brought? Because I don't necessarily think it's necessarily that. Yeah, I don't necessarily think it's the cheating that creates the biggest problem.
It's the aftermath.
Right.
Correct. It's all the above.
It depends.
It's the ridicule.
I most see it as a disrespect.
The embarrassment.
I most see it as the embarrassment and the disrespect. I most see it in that way.
Look at them celebrities.
If nobody really knows, if nobody ever knew, if it's just something you just came across, it's more something that you could handle between you and your partner, compared to when society finds out about it. Now you're getting bombarded with people now with their opinions about what you should do next, you know? Mm-hmm. So and more thing is about the embarrassment rather than anything else.
But sometimes it's simply about the rejection. Sometimes it's simply the fact that you weren't the one they choose and they choose somebody else over you. It could be simple as that. That's ego. We're not going to go there. We're going someplace else by just saying. It's all of the above. It's all of the above. But sometimes it's just the fact that if you love somebody and the person do not choose you, that is a heartbreaking thing. Let we just put our emotions down the table, guys.
But Pinky, if you're staying, that doesn't necessarily mean I haven't chosen you. It just means I want more. I'm greedy.
Okay, just like what she just said. You can't say that, because if you're the one that's giving and you feel that you're giving everything, and this person feel like that's not enough, then it's not a rejection factor. It's just that this individual have a need that you cannot fulfill. It don't have to be sexual. It could be emotional. It could be anything. But because you can't fulfill it, don't make you the bad person. But again, man and woman, they cheat. Yes, they probably have the same agenda somewhere down the line. However, men do it a lot more. Now, I gonna take it to another level. Look where we come from. And where we come from in a society where having multiple families is the norm. So if it's the norm from a young boy growing up to see a big man, you come to find out now you got 7 different brothers and sisters from 4 different families. You want to know, well, how that is possible? And he still live with me, but I got children older than me. I got siblings my same age, and then I got children siblings that's younger than me. Then you come to understand that that might be a form of acceptance in the society in which we come from. So then when you getting older, it's okay to have multiple women and multiple families because that was something that was shown to you, that was acceptable. So whose fault is that?
But really, and that's true. But Randy, is
That's
it really
learned. That's a
acceptable?
learned behavior from the
Yeah.
environment.
But is it Is it really that it's acceptable, or people just do it? Because a lot of times people don't even talk about it; they just do it.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is it's not just young or middle age. This going on from Timbuktu. So it's a cycle that many didn't break, some did. But if you just look at it from a different perspective, okay, how come a woman could have a child for another man and name the child Junior for the new man? What is that all about?
What?
Or two children, or
She's like, what?
two children, two children with the same exact name.
So think about that.
Those we don't understand. Those things are traumatic, not just to the person being cheated on, but these things is also traumatic to children.
Correct.
And this is what I said earlier in one of the posts. These are the rippling effects that they have because it does not just affect you, it affects your children and their relationship, and it just continues and it
It's a
just creates
cycle.
a wall of chaos.
That's why I mentioned that because for me, I am the middle child for my father, but I don't have no other siblings between my mother and father. I the only product of that. But I got 2 older brother on one side and then like 5, 6 younger one there. So what was it? So then I could say this and say it with a straight face because I understand where it comes from. So then my mother was stupid to know that the man got children there, he got other woman there, but you still went and sleep with him and get a child, and then he continued to sleep. So you're a fool. So whose fault is that? That can't be his fault because I don't know the conversation that took place. I don't know if he lying. Was he straightforward? And my mother just said, okay, let's do it. And whatever happens, happens. I don't know. But from my point of view, from my experience, 90% of the time, I think I was telling Debbie this, is the chase for me. I was so intrigued about getting that woman and saying that I
That
know
was about the chase.
that the chase is what it was for me. Now I could have gone home after the chase. I failed at the chase. She didn't want me. Well, I know I got a yard board in the yard, so I going home to the yard board. I got a sense of security there, so I don't have to go through all of that. Now, when something else piques your interest, you're like, let me try this and see. But not really understanding that it comes from an immature place inside of you that you have a issue with self because what? Why you want to go chase something when you already have something that you committed to? So
Variety.
Wait,
right?
let me ask a question, Randy. CC asks, why the chase? And this is
Variety.
to both you and Louis.
Why
Right.
change?
That
Why
was
the
Why the
change?
chase?
I mentioned about the chase before. I don't know if I remember that. I know Debbie, I know you remember that.
So why the chase? Why? Why do I you feel like I
Because
have to
it
chase?
was
Okay,
sensible and it was
It
about
makes you
right
feel all better.
to have the ability to do it.
It feels better.
That's
I
it.
felt because I
Everything
was a
feels better when
popular.
you choose.
I felt because I was a popular guy, I could have any woman I want. And based on that, if I see a woman and I didn't know she and I want she, my popularity preceded me, so I know I could get her. And it
And
would
you, in that moment, there weren't times, and this is to you and to Louis, there was never time where you had that pang of like, darn, like, I know I made that person feel bad. I embarrassed that person.
no, I was so stupid. I was too stupid and immature.
But
No,
see, that's the thing. Like this is the thing here. This is why people who are cheated on, because I always was saying woman were getting cheated on until I came up till we start Elani and I realized, hey, it ain't just the man them cheating on we, got a woman cheating on the man them.
right?
And this is what Debbie said earlier. This is something. So look, you could change inside out. You I used to say back in the days, you could swing off the chandelier for some of them. If that's not what they want, because they want chase and they need their ego stroked,
Right,
you could do whatever the hell you want to do. He gonna do whatever he want to do. That's why this
right.
thing is an individual thing. We have to look at it from our own perspective. We have to own up to, hey, whatever. But that don't negate what they do. That don't negate that they got issues. Cause look, dude, if you have a desire to chase and women looking at you and you want to a man want to knock down. I don't even want to say the words like we's pins
You're
in a
bullying,
bowling alley.
just
It's
like keen to that. You want to see something and you want to bullet. So when you want to bullet, you just do what you have to do to bullet without regards of understanding the damage that you are inflicting on the other people. You ain't care. That's
you ain't care. And no matter how much conversation you have, no matter how much fights you have, no matter how much you change, you don't
But
care. That's
but
that's
why
but
it's
is it
like
but is it that you don't care because are you also hanging around other people who are doing the same thing? Because I'm thinking like if you got all these friends and for the most part most of them are being faithful to their partner.
right.
Um you would not feel no kind of shame. They wouldn't say something to you about
They
doing
always do.
that kind of behavior.
Yeah, they will always do. They always do that.
So
Good guys always coach. You know, yo, slow down, boy. You're speeding. Hey, watch what you're doing there. Hey, you gotta hold it down now. And you're going a little too hard. And watch out, you might lose your girl home. And, yeah,
yeah,
lad.
some of
Man,
them will say that. But again, the macho ego in you will say, man, she ain't got no place. I got that unlocked. Don't mind that. Why are you saying? She got a friend or what? And you got
that's it.
her there. And
yeah,
you
because
yeah, that,
whew,
that's the,
Man.
that's the man ego in you. And the truth of the matter is, because you want to portray this among certain male circles, and you like, yeah, I is the man, and whatever I do, I could do because ain't nobody gonna leave me or do this and that, and you continue with that. Now, I gonna say this for all. I said this when we were talking the other day. For me, I felt like I would say I had narcissistic traits to do what I've done because I didn't care about nobody but myself. It didn't matter to me who got hurt, why, and how they feel. That's on you. Fix yourself, check yourself. Let's keep going. And not understanding the damage that you are actually doing. And for me, I think that's one of the most nastiest thing a man could do. And like I said, I just recently understand value of people and understanding damage people, understanding how you inflict pain on people because it happened to me. So if it didn't happen to me, would I have continued that? I don't know. Maybe I would have changed a little later, or maybe whatever the reason may be. But now I understand that I was a dickhead. I understand that I was really a bad person. I really wasn't a man of any value. I didn't have any real character. Nothing because I didn't care about nobody. And I cared about myself and whatever I wanted to do, maybe bullying somebody, getting your rocks off, or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, when you come full circle with yourself and you realize the harm that you're inflicting on people, man, that's a terrible place to be, because I sit in that seat and I look back, and I'll take this time, please give me a few seconds to apologize to all the women them that I've done wrong. I apologize. I was an immature, retarded dude that didn't know no better. That's not an excuse, but I am apologizing to you. I'm a different person today, and I put in effort. So I apologize to you. When you see me, don't choke and cut off your face. Just give me a hug, because I might need that. You understand? So
Mhm.
again, at the end of the day, when person open the third eye, understand who they are, what is value in people, and understand the context in which you are not really the word using, but understand what these people bring to you and value to your life, then you would understand ultimately that cheating is a retarded thing. That's the dumbest thing you could do. Why?
But before you abuse yourself, and
Mhm.
before you, cause CC say, like, look, I like I say, you talk about the trauma of your childhood and what you experienced. Imani was putting her thing that she went out with a guy, meet this other guy, and they were brothers, and they didn't even know they were brothers. Things that happen to people, and it'll cause them to behave certain ways, and they don't even know they're doing it. They're not conscious. Me excusing your behavior? Not at all. I just saying. So don't be beating yourself up, because, like you said, Randy, you didn't know no better back then. But this is the thing we have to understand about cheating. All cheating is not equal, and it's not the same. Everybody don't cheat how Randy cheat. Everybody don't cheat how Randy cheat. Not because Randy may cheat and Randy cheat and Luis may cheat. I'm just pinpointing yo.
You only
I
call it.
never cheat, so I ain't putting my name in it.
Um,
But I don't care what you say,
disclaimer,
Randy.
disclaimer. I
You
don't
don't
cheat
show what you
anymore.
do.
Okay, but I
I don't
just
cheat
using I
anymore.
as example. I just
Who's
saying
talking about
it may not be with the same intention. Somebody might be chasing, somebody might just be looking for something simple as love. Does it make it okay? Is it a forgivable act? These is the things we have to look at, because Randy, the reason why you was hurting people was because you was not in love. You didn't love self.
I agree. I agree with you, but I didn't understand that. So,
Exactly.
so is it a forgivable act when a child comes from that?
Is it a forgivable act?
Yeah.
Of course it's
Well,
a forgivable act.
I say at the end of the day, it is forgivable because forgiveness is not for the other person.
Well. Oh, no. I missed. Okay. So you
Go ahead.
cheat, Debbie. You cheat on me, and you get pregnant. Is that forgivable?
It should be, because guess what? It happens the opposite way. My daughter is 4 months younger than my ex stepdaughter.
No. The reason why I'm saying that.
The reason why I'm saying that, Randy, is because it's supposed to be forgivable for a man.
And the difference is,
Not.
I
It's
try.
not. It's not supposed to be forgivable.
But I'm just saying that's what society makes it look
It's
like.
just It's relationship. It's supposed to be forgivable within the walls of relationship, and what relationships stand for. Relationship stands for growth and togetherness and foreverness and marriage and that do us part. So it's supposed to be forgivable within those walls, those parameters. But
Right. They ain't got nothing to do with society dictating whatever. Because society might say, okay, all man that cheat and it's okay, but that don't mean that that's okay in your household. You know what I'm saying? That's why I keep saying we have to define things for ourselves individually, and what is us, and look at us and we look at
and that's what I said in
ourselves.
the beginning.
Go
Is
ahead,
what
Ranchi, you
you
were saying
accept.
it.
And that's what I said in the beginning. It's what you accept within the walls of your relationship. You as an individual need to know if you could accept that and moving forward. Because yes, it happened. Your pain, you're gonna feel it. No, just like a cut, you're gonna heal and you're gonna move past it. But are you able to move past and not look back at that wound every 2 seconds? And
well, it's like Debbie said, she accepted it for what, 20 some odd years, right?
Sorry?
And not everyone has that tenacity to stay in something.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's not a must that you have to stay, but you just have to know for yourself whether you're doing it, yes or no. And it is also hot outside parties, whereas if you have kids, if the man have kids and the woman got kids, and now they seen the mother and father bickering over this thing, and now they got brother on the outside.
I have a problem with the woman getting pregnant from somebody else and not me, though.
What? Say that again?
I got a problem with a woman getting pregnant from somebody else and not me. I ain't staying in that shit. I'm sorry. I ain't staying in that.
What I was saying.
I'll figure that out.
If I get somebody,
I see pictures from fellas holding, they know the baby mother belly for another guy. I won't be that guy. I ain't taking that one.
Exactly. Thank you.
Look, if it happened before me, no problem. I don't mind. We can meet you now and we can go forward from there.
Not during, not with me.
That's what I
with me. That shot.
I was
drink a pill. You gotta fix that.
If I get pregnant, that child is gonna be outside. But because me and you together, you get pregnant, that child coming inside. You're not going to get that child to the father. You bringing that child home.
Home to me, exactly.
You gotta wake up in the night. You gotta wake up in the night to feed that child.
But this is the thing. You see, are you laughing? Are you laughing? But look here, are you laughing as man? And again, it's a society thing because man, but there's many women.
Pinky.
There's men that have done that, and there's also this is part of why. But Ranchi, this is part of why the reason why a lot of times we won't even know how many women really cheat, because that's something people go to the grave with.
But let me ask a question though.
First of all, for many reasons, like shit.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask this question. Do we know initially when you're in a relationship, marriage, whatever, do you know the initial point of being cheated on, or is it speculation? Like, how do you actually know? And then when you do think that you're being cheated on, do you act upon that at that moment? Or do you understand? Because your behavior, your mental...
That different because some people walk in.
Every relationship.
Yeah, some people walk in and catch people in the act. Some people overhear conversation.
That's obvious. I'm talking about the not obvious. Like when you ain't sure, when you don't know, but you think that intuition.
Yo, let me tell you, woman got instinct.
This is what I want to hear, because I know Pig, you will come with something.
Woman got look, I believe woman got instinct. I got instinct.
It's happening. But they say once they start to think about it,
there is so many intangible signs. There is so many intangible signs that lead to that if you ain't paying attention, you may not see. But I wanted to address what Greenie said. I think the name is Greenie. People attack forgiveness. They attack advantage of forgiveness. Man, let me tell you, Greenie.
Wait a minute. Sorry.
This is what I'm gonna say about forgiveness. And I've said it many times on the show, and I will continue to say it. You can forgive people, but you ain't got to be in relationship with them. You can forgive people, and they ain't never, ever got to change. You forgive them, you send them on their way, you forgive yourself for not knowing no better, and you move on. Forgiveness don't mean that I am putting up with the behavior. And forgiveness also do not mean we forget the behavior, because a lot of people keep saying, oh, it happened, and you keep bringing it up. Let me tell you, a wound leaves a scar. And in nature, a scar, it'll just act up. Sometimes it's a rainy day, your scar will act up. And if you know you hurt somebody, you cause trauma and pain in people's life, have some grace, some mercy, some compassion and understanding. Don't just say, oh, I cheated on you 62 times and you keep bringing it up. Have love and compassion for that mate, knowing that you did hurt somebody. And because you hurt somebody, you will cause an effect that may be life lasting. And you have to deal with it because you're the one who put them through it. Me saying that she have to keep bringing it up or keep cussing or keep what. But I'm saying, Ranchi, a scar. You have a scar for the rest of your life, and depending on how much time he cheat or she cheats.
Move on. Get over it. Move on.
You see, this is what I'm saying. People don't just move on from things. You have
to.
No, we're not saying. I ain't saying you have to move on from the hot pinky, but don't tell me no.
The expectation is if the man is cheating on, he gotta move on, right?
Another 5 years, and you. What are you there for?
5 years.
You don't want to be with a person. If you already you get cheat, you maybe a few months after that, stay with a person, but you realize you can't even put up with it or bringing it up. They're hurting you every day. Why are you waking up next to this person?
That's not what I am saying. We talking extremes here. We talking extremes. Me saying you gotta keep bringing it up every time he got through the door. You're sure you're going to? Me saying that, okay? What I'm saying is to expect people to just totally forget. Louis, you're the one who said they should forget. You have a scar. You don't see that scar all the time.
You're not going to forget. You just have to move on. You just have to.
You move on, but guess what? You move on differently, though. You will move on different, and you would respond to life, and you will respond to circumstances differently because of your experience.
Tracy,
you can't just wipe the slate clean and pretend like it never happened. See, a lot of people like to hurt people, and then they want to wipe the clean slate.
Tracy said, "What wrong with you, Jan? That's dismissive." You see, I got time for that. I got time to stay and solve.
My thing,
you don't want
that's how but again, we deal with things differently. So we deal with things on an individual.
Honest, everybody is built different.
Different.
I
ain't gonna do that.
The
you ain't gonna catch me slipping again, though.
Unfortunately, people are going to hurt us when we get in relationship. Not necessarily cheating, it could be all sorts of different little things, right? But the thing that saddens me is when I've seen people who are to the core of them decent human beings, and they have literally decided that they're not going to try and meet or date or get into another relationship because of what one person has done to them. And that's all an individual thing, and that's all an individual relationship. And people have to heal, because they got other people now who will move into another relationship, never heal, and take that pain, they take that into the next relationship. So it all depends. It all depends.
How about this? How about you just move on to another relationship to help cover and get over that?
Oh God.
No, it's not
the healthiest thing, but people do that.
And then
but it's not healthy.
And then
it's not the healthiest thing at all.
You bleed into that one.
And that person take the brunt of everything. That's not a healthy thing to do at all.
That's not a healthy thing. But to say you won't get back in a relationship, if you buy a car, that car, that Hyundai give you headache, that means you're gonna stop driving? No, you're gonna look for a Ford. You're gonna buy a Bentley. That means you have to look for something different. But don't tell me you'll stop driving.
You move to the next one, right?
You move to the next one, you get something else. You see, you take time, you look at the qualities and the features of what you need and what you're looking for, and you move on. But to hang on to buy, I had a Hyundai, and a Hyundai treat me like crap, buy me, want it again. No, you don't do that to yourself.
Right.
Your life
let me tell you, you do, and me and Debbie had this discussion one time too. We do carry things from our past into our next relationship because
it's how you learn. It's how you learn.
It's what you learn.
You learn from your experiences. So yes, we all do. But it's what you do with that information. It's how you use it that determines your character and makes you the individual that you are in that new era.
Exactly.
But let me ask you a question. Because, and again, I don't know if this is because of society. I don't know if this is because what the root cause again of this is. It's ego, it's pride, it's everything else. To me, I've noticed that when a woman,
these comments, I'm telling you, man, these comments.
I know.
Funny, man.
When a woman, I want to, but I'm gonna have to go back to them.
I love it. I'm loving it.
When a woman has been cheated on, and again, I'm just using this generally, right? What it's like kind of expected, like, oh God, not to say, like people said, not to say forgive and stay in a relationship, but it's like the blow is supposed to be softened. But for me, I've noticed that men, if it happens to a man, it's even harder for them to move on. Why is that?
Because we don't give all, and when we give all, we give everything. So the hurt is a lot more.
And when that's taken from you,
You're saying that a woman doesn't give all?
No, it's an unexplainable.
Women are custom of that. With some women are custom of being open. Men defenses are always up. Men walls are always up. So when they actually do decide to drop those walls and drop the guard and open up and get disrespected not by the person they gave the all to and that person they really love, because men gonna be men.
Women naturally have a higher threshold for pain.
Everybody ain't gonna get that 100% of you. But when you actually do open up and give that 100% of yourself to somebody and they disrespect you, hurt you in a kind of way, that's where you see men jumping off of bridges and them kind of one them.
And that's true, because you see man kill himself or kill woman for stuff like that. I personally haven't heard of like a woman killing herself.
Maybe because we are accustomed to it. Maybe because
women have a higher threshold for pain.
We do.
That's why I give both.
Exactly.
We do.
You're designed that way. You're designed that way. Men are not.
And that's the thing. We're just designed different from males. And that's another thing we need to stop doing. We need to stop comparing the genders because we are different. Sorry to say, guys, we are different. We see the world differently.
We all do experience pain, and our pain when we go through a situation where we're being cheated on, and especially like Randy said, when you put your all into a woman and your ego gets challenged and you take that blow, as we like to say, that'll be heavy. That weighs heavy. There's the ridicule, there's the embarrassment to community, because this is people, you point, when a man get into a woman and that's his woman, it's known and he's proud. There's a sense of pride with that. Understand? And now when that's taken away or when that's been violated, you're crushed.
Oh, wait a minute. CJ Gallo said, no, men take it more, I guess, harder. Because
they're
visual. They know how they are with you. So to think of her being that way with someone else, they can't handle it.
I think so. I think that'll really just crush a man's ego to just imagine that woman, his woman, with another man.
Yeah, that's what I said. It crushes you. Yeah.
She had a man before.
What I was saying.
She had a man before that. She had a man before that, right?
Well, not when you put your everything.
She had a man before that, right? Had a man before that. So I ain't really think it's because you could think of her being with the next one because she had a man before that.
Like CC said, the pain is the same, but the reaction is different.
It's just a hurt. It's just a hurt.
But males,
different. We react to pain different.
Of course. And I don't want to get into the science of it, but because I use males and you have more testosterone, you react differently than women who have estrogen. Though we have both, and I'm not going to go there because that's going to be another thing. I'm just saying.
Exactly. So it's not just the, I ain't believe it's just visual. I can't agree with that one.
I don't think it's just, but I think she has a point, though. I think CJ is a woman.
Yeah.
I thought it was CI. I have my glasses in close by, so I try not to call it.
It's CI.
Debbie says CJ.
It's CI. Oh, let's see. Oh, Gallo?
Yeah.
It's CI. But she's going to write it just now in the comments.
CI.
Okay. Oh, well, I thought I was wrong. But it's true. We all see things differently. And we react differently, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's about creating that safe space for people to be individuals, to be heard, to be acknowledged in a relationship. That's the part about the forgiveness. And if it just ain't meant to be, just ain't meant to be.
Correct is right.
Yeah.
If I ain't meant to be, I don't care how much you love the person. If the person can't show up for you in the capacity in which you need them to, and you gotta fight with them every week, every month, every couple of years, gotta go and cheat. This
Why
that.
you need to do it for yourself? You see, the
Narcissism
thing is, people just blame the cheater, right? And yes, automatically, you are the cheater, so you're automatically wrong. But do anybody recognize why the person is cheating?
Yeah.
definitely people cheat
Why
for
that
many,
person
many
cheating?
reasons.
The reasons are so far is so broad.
It's
You
so
could,
true. If you're in a cruel relationship with somebody who don't talk to you, don't even look at you, they see you as, okay, just the provider. I don't just say for male kind of woman cheating, or okay, whatever. I getting confused. But it's like Ranchi's saying, that need is not bad. All you might do is need somebody to conversate with and somebody to acknowledge your feelings, And then you meet somebody, the person done talking to you. Next thing you know, cheating is not just about the sexual act. It is beyond the sexual act.
I agree with you. So check this out. So when you meet a woman and you talk, I can just use from a male's perspective. When you meet a woman, there's certain things that intrigue you about that woman for you to want to pursue her. Then in the midst of dating, let's just say with no exclusivity contracts, whatever terms you want to use, put in place, you find somebody else that kind of attracts you in a different manner of some of the higher things that you really desire in a woman. So now you have two people that plays to your whole list. One is playing from number 6 to number 10, and the next one is from 1 to 5 on your list. So now you don't want to lose neither one because your list is complete with two women.
So then you don't cheat, you say you want to be in a polygamous relationship?
In a sense, yes. But then if you're staying monogamous, then you got to pick one. And at the end of the day, what you want to stay with is determined not just by your happiness, but your sadness. Who could cheer you up?
So
who you could
let's
argue
look at
with?
it. Well, this is what I'm saying. That's why when you meet somebody, you have to understand with yourself that they're never going to be the 100. They're going to be a percentage of everything that you want. And you have to be in yourself to say, well, yeah, that's significant enough for me to proceed because that's what I'm willing to compromise on the other stuff. So if this person is good enough with all her flaws and this is what I want, then hey, I need to proceed this. But understand that you're not going to get everything on the list. So if you're okay with not getting everything on the list, make sure it's at least some of the top things on your list.
But you see the thing is with your list? You see the thing is with your list?
Well, at the end of the day,
need to match. Your list need to match that person's list. Because no matter what, once you get into a relationship, there's something called compromise. And we just look past
you have compromise.
You have a compromise somewhere. So if you two,
but some things, Ranchi, ain't compromisable.
Exactly, but you need to be able to admit it to yourself.
Well, right.
Hitting all those boxes for you, and might be hitting an 80%, let's say, on your list. But a lot of things, no, that person can't even compromise with you with. Everything will be an argument, and everything will become a discussion where that person just feel like they have to have it their way.
You have to have integrity with your list.
Somebody that you're able to compromise with. If you cannot if you as a person, as an individual, ain't able to compromise with somebody, you shouldn't really be looking for a relationship.
Well, what I'm saying is, I look at it this way. If I want a woman, she has to be my whore. If I want a woman, she has to be my best friend. If I want a woman, she has to be my best cook. If I want a woman, she has to be my ear. So I have to.
But Randy, all them thing you asking for, you bring it to the table too?
Well, listen to what I'm saying. So in turn,
it's one table. Somebody got to bring.
That she requires. I have to be a protector. I have to be the safe haven. I have to be all these things that she requires. So if you can't be those things, then you need to eat by yourself Don't even go to the table.
But that's not being realistic, Randy. That's not being realistic. You know why? Because let's say, for instance, you meet someone, right? And you have this amazing connection with the person, right? And like we're talking about list, because everybody know, oh, I have my door. I have my list, right? So it's on my bathroom door, so I can look at it every day. So if you are saying, I'm just saying, that sounds perfect in the perfect world, but a lot of times people see someone, they get attracted to someone for whatever reason, they want this person, and they either want to make this person into what they wanted, even though they know this person is lacking in some integral parts that they really need. Yeah, but a lot of people do that.
But Randy, we might sit down and look around. Randy's a traditionalist. He is a traditionalist. That's what he is attracted to. He is not attracted to anything else. So it's not our job to change the man. It's our job to hear the man. And this man know what he wants. That's what he wants. That's what'll make Randy happy. It might not make Janos happy, but it'll make Randy happy. This is the individual thing that Ranchi was talking about in the get-go. The parameters of your relationship. Not Ranchi relationship, not Janos, but yours.
I like a little closet freak. A little closet side.
We're glad to hear that, my boy. We're glad that you have that kind of thing.
Read what Greenie said. Read what Greenie said.
I love me a lady.
Greenie.
Which one? She wrote a lot.
She said, women are takers and men are givers. Our bodies, we take men in. Men transit their energy into us. Our womb and our souls are sacred spaces. They are supposed to protect that gift from God. And when they do not, it is the ultimate betrayal. And I wanted to address that because this is the thing. We're talking about forgiveness. Is it a forgivable act? How do we resolve this issue? The only way we resolve this issue is by being honest and understanding what we're here for and what we're here to do. Like she said, like she explained so well. If that is not the relationship for you, then it's not for you. If you want to be out there being a player and lying and cheating, be honest. What do you want? That's the only way we're going to resolve cheating. People having integrity and being honest. That's it.
Well, that's the thing. That's the whole thing. You have to understand these people that we're talking and referencing doesn't have any honesty in them. That's why they're doing what they're doing. Because at the end of the day, if you was honest with yourself and the person that you were committed to, you would resolve the issue. But you're not an honest person. So therefore, you don't have the balls to confront them and say, hey, I you know what? Rather than me play with you, I'm just going to get Sarah and I'm going to do my do. And when I come back is whatever. They don't have that balls. So what they do, they turn around and say, well, you know, she's going to understand. He is going to be okay. And they retarded with attack. At the end of the day, if you have the honesty that everybody thinks they have and have the honesty within themselves, we will never have cheating. We would have a different discussion about the moon and the stars because that would never be a topic. But we don't understand self-reasoning and self-truth. So therefore, we have cheating. I want you because you look good. Well, she don't want you because you don't look good to her. Now your ego hot, your pride mash up, and you like, you know what? I gonna still hunt it. And then you start to lie and lie until you come to a lie where she now can engage in it and like, oh, okay, I didn't know you were like that, man. And then now she start to like you and you like, I got her ass now. And so on. And then when you get what you get, you realize that, hey, she really wasn't all that. And I put in all this effort. My son, I hate her ass, yeah. But at the end of the day, at the end of the day, if you look at the situation, you are lying to yourself from the get-go. And the woman was honest. I don't like you. But you couldn't take that answer. So now you had to create yourself to be on her level, in her place, to get her. So you lie to yourself too, because that's not who you are.
Right. True.
So at the end of the day, lies and dishonesty is the bare root of the whole thing, in my perspective.
I think it's more the fear of being honest.
That's it.
It's a good point,
no other way around it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that will eliminate cheating. It's not that a man need to be with one man or a woman be with one man, because some women can't be with one man. Sorry to tell you. Some people are stimulated in the sexual related by variety. If they want variety, you can't get a variety. You got woman out there. You got woman out there looking for the one.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. That's
exactly.
Why if you want a woman.
I had a lady told me once that she could put on a different hairstyle every night, call her and be a different woman every night.
Tamala Man.
You were excited, didn't you?
She has a different wig. Something about how she has different wigs so that her husband meets a different woman all the time.
I mean,
yeah, but then you got Randy on the other hand talking about he want a woman wear the wig them. Like someday you got your short wig, and then someday you got to buy your wig.
Anyhow, it is after 9. You know, today was a really good conversation, and I really, really, really appreciate everybody who engaged in this in the comments.
The commentary was off the hook tonight.
You all go back in the comments and try and address some of these things. I tried to address some of them, but I really appreciate you. And again, the one thing I would like everybody to leave this with is that unfortunately cheating has touched many people's lives, right? And we have to
touch at least all of our lives at some point, like cancer. Yeah, it has.
Okay. I'm
yes,
not going to say everyone.
You know somebody. You know somebody.
Okay, you know somebody. Exactly. So I for me, I just would like to leave everyone with the thought that look at yourself too, why you've put up with it, why it happened, so that you don't get stuck, or you can heal in the situation if that's your choice. But I think it is a forgivable offense, and that's what I want to leave with everyone. So everybody.
So Ranchi, you think it's a forgivable offense?
Everything is forgivable. Everything.
So if she get pregnant with not a man.
It would be forgivable for another man, not for me. But I mean to say, I would forgive her. I won't be upset with her.
I mean, I would probably, I'd forgive her. I'm sorry that happened to you, but you know what? You gotta take this one on your own. I'm out.
Exactly. Okay. I'm gonna be honest with myself. I ain't gonna continue to be.
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay. I'm not gonna stay.
For the act, you know.
Forgive you and that gentleman to have opportunity to raise your child.
You know, exactly. God bless her. Your journey, and but.
Obviously it wasn't meant for me, so God intended differently.
And again, forgivable doesn't mean you stay. So
exactly.
Right.
I want to thank you guys. Thank you again, Randy, Ranchi, Louis, Trina, and Debbie.
We thank you, Debbie.
Debbie, thank you. Definitely, thanks. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to all the comments, and we wish everyone good things, great things, and beautiful things.
Everyone
thanks for every comment.
We appreciate you looking in on the love and enlightenment. Hopefully, you gain something from this, because that's the concept here. So
I'm gonna say this one thing. Based on this whole week and every post we made and everything we did towards cheating, people do not like cheating. People don't like cheated on at all. Nobody likes it. Nobody is okay with it. So let we enter it. Let we start being honest with people, and let we just come right out and say what we want and what we desire, and stop cheating on each other.
Yeah, listen,
unless of course you're not in a relationship and you're just dating people, that's different. But
oh God,
or you're in a situationship. Okay, Janos. Okay.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Please be safe, and we will see you back here next week, Thursday.
Good night. Good night, everybody. Good night. Good night.